My name's Brendon. I was living down in the Keys for about 7 years. Just lost, I bought a sailboat. I was living on my sailboat, bartending down there, doing literally whatever I wanted. I'd make cash, so I'd spend all my money on drugs, alcohol, and women. And I met this girl. We went to California. I overdosed 3 times. And then we were in Yosemite National Park at the resort there, and we got caught with fentanyl, cocaine, acid, mushrooms, weed, and some of her prescription pills. And because it was an overdose situation, we were let go. But shortly after that, I flew to the Keys because we had to move her sailboat. And while we were on her boat, my sailboat, everything in my head, it's my house, I lived on, had caught on fire randomly. It was just over with life, man. I was just tired of burning bridges over and over again, moving to different states just because I ruined a relationship or abandoned my family. I was just tired of living. So I was Baker acted, and I woke up in a mental health unit of a place down in Marathon in the Keys, like in the Middle Keys. And I just woke up with this just desire for change, man. Like I didn't know it at the time, but it was like I just had this, I wanted something more out of life. I knew there was more to life than just wash, rinse, repeating these mistakes over and over and over and over. So First Baptist Islamorada, the pastor let me stay at his house after I got released because I wanted to go to a rehab. And I didn't really know, I got my first Bible here, man. So I didn't know anything about God or anything. So in the decision process, being a faith-based rehab had nothing to do with it. I just wanted help. I wanted counseling. I wanted just something more out of life than myself, who I was living for. And I've picked out 2 different places, both of them. One was in Georgia and one was in Naples. And in the process of calling places, I called about every place in Florida, and most places didn't answer, so you leave messages. And so after I picked 2 places, other than this place, we got a phone call, and they just prayed for me that I picked 2 places. I was at his house for four days before I finally found 2 places I wanted to go to, and they were both faith-based. So these people that surrounded me, all great Christians, were praying that it was good that God put 2 places in front of me. So I got a call from Jamie Shear, the assistant director of the men's center here in Leesburg at the Christian Care Center. And we talked for an hour. I felt like he knew me. He knew a lot of my struggles I didn't even know I had. And he scheduled a phone interview with the director, Jay Walsh. And I called them the next day. We talked for another hour. And so my choice of 3 places just got dwindled down to 1, and I made the decision to come to the Christian Care Center in Leesburg. And that 5-hour drive from the Keys was pretty anxious because I went from living on my own by myself, for myself, doing whatever I wanted. My sailboat was a mile offshore, and I was coming to a concrete box with 24 other guys. I didn't know what to expect. I had it was, but you walk up, you'll see in the movie, we're in the movie, those 2 doors, man, with the logos on the doors, and you just open up and it's just love is poured into you. And I remember just everyone's just so welcoming and so it was a beautiful thing. And they did the tour and they showed me my bunk, and on there, one of the brothers that are in the program, there was a Bible. It was my first ever Bible. I've seen Bibles before, and I've been around people that are Christian. It was just always the crazy Christian people that don't believe in evolution or whatever. But slowly but surely, man, the classes, the love, the counseling, everything kind of just ties in together. And once you're when I started sharing, I was able to be honest with myself for the first time, and honest with anybody else. So all these masks are just coming off. And one by one, I'm working on these traumas that happened in my childhood that all led to who I was in addiction. And at that point, I was I've been a heavy drug user since I was 17. And I was 40 when I came into the program. And so most of my life, I was a drug addict. So I became a disciple for Christ while in here. I fell in love with the Lord. And I graduated the program and I get offered a job for First Baptist Leesburg, driving the thrift store truck. So I really get to be engaged in customers, and I get to share the testimony of myself, my brothers. I get to witness about the Christian Care Center and all the different villages, all the different ministries. It's one of the highlights of my day is just going to someone's house and sharing what the Lord has done to me through this place. And it's fantastic. I get to pray with people when they lose husbands or wives and they have to pack up some of their stuff, or it's incredible what God has done in my life. And I'm even helping Pastor Garrett volunteer. I'm a co-leader for the high school boys for the church. So like even the pastor's kids are in my group. So it's such a blessing what God is doing and continues to do in my life. I plan on going to university to get a degree so I can go to seminary and just really figure out where exactly God wants me. And here I am, use me. It's incredible.